happens about every kind of 12th reading I do. Suddenly I don't know what happens to me, but I'm here. And yes, thank you for visiting. And this is your reading for August the 20th to August the 26th. And I won't say any more apart from the fact that I'm really sorry this is late. I am going through a lot of stress, a lot of issues. I wasn't able to do this while I was really, really stressed. I just couldn't. I just didn't have the energy to do these readings. Now I am. And I'm going to get on with this as quickly as I possibly can for you. So I'm going to get straight into it. The first card you have, your past, is the Six of Pentacles. So yes, I'm seeing a kind of, I'm seeing a workplace situation actually. This is something like a work project or something in the workplace. I'm seeing someone thought that things were unfair, or that maybe you were being favoured over them or something like that. Now, this actually wasn't what was happening. You weren't being favoured, but this person could have been imagining that, you know, the situation was unfair and they were being treated unfairly and you were getting all the good, whatever it was, and they weren't, and it was some silly thing like that. I'm seeing this person might have been making kind of sly digs at you, or they were saying kind of nasty things to you, but kind of subtle nasty things, if you know what I mean. It's like, you know, these kind of things made it difficult for you to actually say anything about it. So it's like some, you know, when some people say something nasty to you and they say, oh, I was only joking, and they weren't joking. But, you know, if you say anything back to them, they can say, oh, well, don't you have a sense of humour? I was just joking. Well, no, they're not joking. So it's that kind of thing that, you know, if you said anything back to them, you would look like the bad person, and they were kind of trying to set you up to do that. And this was because they had some kind of big chip on their shoulder, and they thought that you were kind of being favoured over them, and they were giving the bad work and you were being given the good work, or some stupid thing, whatever it was. It was really nothing, actually. So this is the kind of person who, you know, they look for things to be upset about or angry about. It wasn't you. It'd be something else or someone else if it wasn't you. And, you know, if this resonates, if you're still going through this kind of situation with this silly person, try to ignore them. Something else will probably come along sometime. It'll be bothering them next week, and they'll focus on that, or someone else. I know I sound like your mother saying, don't worry about the bully at school, just ignore them. But that's all you can do in the workplace, really. I mean, you could probably punch them, but it's not going to be very good in the workplace. And you're not Aries either. But yes, they're always going to have this kind of playground mentality. And, you know, nobody wants to go back to the playground. So you might just have to ignore this, and they're going to move on to someone else anyway. And, you know, you're bigger than that. You're much bigger than this silly person. The next card you have for your past is the Two of Wands. So yes, here we are. You had bigger things to think about. You had a lot more to think about than this pettiness, this silly person. You actually had a lot of options out in front of you. I'm seeing, you know, potential for growth in something else. You might have been thinking about a side business or some other kind of work outside of this workplace, something else. You might have been building up something for yourself. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. Yes, it's gone. And sorry about that. And yeah, you could see this man's looking out. He has the world in his hands. He's looking in front of him. He's looking at all of these different possibilities. So you were seeing, you had all these possibilities. You're seeing, oh, if I start this business, I might be able to do this, and then I could start this, and then I could branch out into this. So you're really thinking very, very carefully about this. You're excited, but you weren't kind of jumping in. You were thinking very carefully, which was very sensible. The last card you have for your past is the Queen of Pentacles. So yes, I'm seeing that you could have been keeping your emotions to yourself around someone. Maybe you weren't hiding them. You weren't doing it in a sneaky way, but it was like you wanted to stay grounded. You didn't want to start being overly emotional. You didn't want to start jumping in until you kind of were sure about a situation, or you were sure about a person. I'm seeing that, you know, this other person could have been the opposite. They were wanting to take a step toward you, or they were wanting you to take a step toward them. And, you know, this person saw you as being very, very physically attractive. Of course you are, like this beautiful queen. That's how they saw you. Really, really attractive. And This could be why you're holding back, maybe because you wanted to see if there was more first. You wanted to see if there was something deeper than physical attraction. Because physical attraction, of course, when you see someone, that's the first thing. It's looks. You see someone, you say, am I attracted to that person? But then, it goes much deeper than that. And you're a stable person, or you're looking for stability, because we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So you were looking for something quite serious, maybe, and you were waiting to see whether there was something deeper than just physical attraction. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your present is the Eight of Wands. So yes, I'm seeing this person in the Queen of Pentacles, this person who thinks you are gorgeous, of course. They really, really, really want to talk to you. They're almost dying to talk to you. Yes, obviously this is a love situation. Yeah, they're sitting on their hands. They're sitting on their hands. They're waiting for you to communicate with them. I'm not seeing them losing interest. I'm seeing that, I'm seeing these words as arrows actually flying through the sky, and you're the target. This is what they want to do. They want to shoot their arrows at you. They want to come rushing towards you. In their imagination or in their dreams, this is what they want to do. But they're probably not doing that. They're not doing that. This is what they really would like to do, but they're not doing that. They don't want you to think they're kind of crazy or like a weird person or something like that. And yes, wands are about passion, they're about action, and you can imagine what they're thinking about you, obviously, but they're waiting. They're waiting for a kind of a sign from you. And in the Queen of Pentacles, you're not doing that. You're kind of sitting there very kind of patiently waiting, or you're kind of just thinking about this. You're kind of wanting to make sure this is the right thing before you jump in. But they're impatient, but they're trying to be patient. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have, your present, is the Seven of Pentacles. So yes, again, this person's waiting, looking over at you, waiting, wondering if this is ever going to grow into anything. But, the sky's grey in this card. And so your mind's concentrating on how you're going to achieve what you want to achieve. You're thinking about this thing in the Two of Wands, this business idea or whatever this is. And yes, the sky is grey, so that's grey matter. This is your mind. You're using your mind. This person's using their heart and wanting to rush forward to you. So if this resonates, if you're still thinking about this business idea, I'm seeing that, yes, this is going to go ahead for you. This is fine. And, you're planning this and this is working out. But I'm seeing that, you might want to rethink some of your ideas or some of your strategies around this, because I'm seeing there might be an obstacle in front of you. And this obstacle might have something to do with money, or, your thoughts about money, or your feelings about money, or something like that. These feelings might be restricting you, or they might be restricting your thinking in some way. They might be stopping you from going as far as you'd like to go. If you look at this man, he's standing on a path, but there's a coin in front of him. It's kind of stopping him. It's restricting him. And think about any restricting attitudes you might have around money that might be stopping you from moving forward as quickly as you like to. It might be something like, oh, I can't afford to buy that piece of equipment I need for this, or I can't afford to do something else, or, oh, my family's never had money, so I don't think I really understand much about it. Go and learn about it. Then you'll understand about it. Do something about it. Don't let your feelings or your ideas or the way you've been brought up or whatever it is stop you from moving forward. Try and remove whatever obstacles you have around money. The last card you have, your present, is the Page of Swords. So yes, again, I just keep on seeing this person who's really, really attracted to you. This person's waiting for you. They could be watching you on social media. Not in a creepy way. It's not like they're a creepy stalker. They might just be checking to see if you're, maybe if you're online. They might be trying to see, even if you're trying to talk to someone else. They're looking to see if that little blue dot's next to your picture. And they're seeing, is this person online? Well, they haven't spoken to me for a while. What are they doing? Are they talking to someone else? Let's check, let's see who they're friends with. Let's see, who pops up, in there, whatever. So they're really just looking they're not doing anything terrible. They're just kind of every now and again looking and checking. Yes. The first card you have for your future is the Two of Pentacles. This is going to sound really strange. I'm seeing writing. I'm seeing writing. I'm seeing information. I'm seeing maybe keying things in on a laptop or something, or emails or something like that. I'm seeing having to correct things. I'm seeing having to correct things over and over and over again. So you could be correcting something. You could be correcting mistakes over and over again at this time. I'm actually seeing you might be correcting someone else's mistakes. And again, this could be in the workplace, more workplace problems. You have a lot of people who you work with, especially one person who should be concentrating on their work, not on other people. And whoever's making these mistakes could be kind of trying to hide them, or hide the fact that they're responsible for them. It's like, this mistake, people might be looking at these mistakes and saying, who's doing this? Who did this? And then no one says anything. Everyone kind of sits there quietly. It's like, when the teacher said, right, who has done this? Somebody own up. And everyone sits there quietly. It's like that. They're not owning up to what they've done. They're not showing that they're responsible for what they've done, which is crazy. I mean, if you make a mistake, why don't you just come out and say, oh, I'm really sorry, I made this mistake. Let me fix it. But no, it kind of creates this kind of, nobody trusts anyone, because everyone thinks, well, it could be them or it could be them, and so it creates this horrible atmosphere. And yes, they're not being responsible. They're not going to be responsible for what they've done. And it won't happen now, but I'm seeing sooner or later some of what they've done is going to come back to them. It's going to come back onto them. They're going to be found out eventually. It might take a long time for them to be found out, because, in the Two of Pentacles, I can see this infinity symbol. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. They won't be able to hide their mistakes forever. It's going to come out. The next card you have, your future, is the Seven of Swords. So yes, again, this person's hiding their mistakes. They're kind of being sneaky. They're hiding things. Again, there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. I make them all the time. Why not just come out and say, I made a mistake and I'll fix it. I'm very sorry, or something like that. But they're not doing that. They're sneaky about it. They might even be kind of pretending someone else has done it. They might be letting other people take the blame or something like that. But again, this is going to catch up with them. They won't be smiling anymore like the man in this card. They're going to be either frowning or crying or something like that. They're not going to be like this man. The last card you have, your future, is the Page of Cups. So yes, this person who's really interested in you, again, I'm seeing this person who wants to come toward you, but they're kind of not doing it. Yes, they're watching you still. They're going to still be waiting. They might break out and actually message you or try to contact you at this time. They're still not going to be showing you the full intensity of their feelings. They have these really, really intense feelings towards you. I've seen that in the Eight of Wands, but they're still not going to be coming towards you. They're still going to be kind of holding back. They want to. They so want to come and kind of say, come out with me, do this and that, but they can't do it. They feel that they have to wait for you. And so, yes, they're keeping their feelings in. But they're going to be contacting you with a kind of a fun message or a funny message or something like that. This person could be really, really funny, actually. They can be a bit childlike as well sometimes. So, it's a huge effort for them not to say anything, just kind of not come forward and say, oh, would you like to come out? It's like they're childlike. It's like a child when a child's in a shop and they see a toy and they say, can I have that, please, 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 can I have it, please? And the parent says, no, you can't have that right now. Please, please, why? But please, please, like that. They would love to be like that with you. They'd love to say, oh, will you come out with me? Can you do this? Please, please, please. But they can't do that because they would look crazy. So they're sitting on their hands and they can't help it. They've broken out and they've said something kind of amusing or funny to try and make you laugh. So they're trying to kind of make you laugh, make you kind of feel happy and funny toward them and that kind of thing. So, they're trying so hard to not say much, but they have these very intense, and they're still going to in your future have these very, very intense feelings toward you. So Scorpio, I hope this resonated. As you know, general readings can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please like or subscribe, or leave a comment if you'd like to. And again, I have to apologise for being so late with this. But thank you for being patient, and thank you so much for watching.